Welcome to the woods. A nice day. We had a whole week of sun, which was needed after a year and a half of rain. I'm quite thankful that the cabin didn't float away, to be honest. But it gave me a chance to get things done. It's difficult to do a lot of stuff when it's pouring with rain, but a few days sunshine, I got a lot of jobs done that needed to get done. And today I've been doing housework. Not something I enjoy doing, but something that needs doing. I've done 2 loads of washing. Not something I enjoy doing, but if I want to wear clean clothes, it needs to get done. And so we do it. We do the things that need to get done, regardless of we enjoy doing them or not. If given the choice, we would spend our time doing things we enjoy. And we all understand that. Most of us will have a hobby, and if we could invest more time in that, doing whatever it is we enjoy doing, then we would. And I think that's the same for most people. Is the fact that we're not lazy. We're quite industrious. That even in our downtime, in those times when we're not working, we'll find something to do that we enjoy doing. And it doesn't really matter what that hobby is, be it mountaineering or hiking or computer games or drawing or reading. Whatever it is, we would tend to do that instead of do nothing. I think it's good to be industrious. It's good to be creative. And when I say creative, I don't necessarily mean drawing, painting, writing, although those things are good and creative, but just to do things, to get things done. So we do the things we enjoy doing, and we tend to get good at the things we do. So we get even better at the things we enjoy. And that's worth remembering. If you want to get good at something, learn to enjoy it. On Sunday, I went and had dinner with some friends, and it was a stark reminder for me when we were sat around a table laughing and joking, talking, discussing all sorts, of how important connections like that are. To be able to talk to people without couching your words, to be able to speak honestly and authentically in the company of like-minded people is important. So when you get the chance to do that, do it. But it was a stark reminder to me of what happened not too many years ago, when our rights and freedoms, those simple things that we took for granted, being able to go to a pub and eat a meal with our friends and share a beverage or a cup of coffee round a table, those things were withdrawn. Those things, those rights, those freedoms were taken away. More people should now understand that the freedoms we take for granted, again, are wholly dependent on whether the system says you can have those freedoms, says you can have those rights. Increasingly, we're seeing legislation and laws introduced throughout this country to curb and restrict what we say, what we think, and how we act. Most of you will know that there's legislation been passed on going through on protests and your ability to say that you don't like something. They don't want you to protest. There's legislation and laws been passed on what you can say and how you can say it. Laws and legislation passed and in draft form on how you should think. I saw a brief video earlier this week where a man had spoken to his priest about some of the attacks on Christian churches and priests that had happened through Europe, and wondered why nothing was being done about it. And the priest had passed on information to the police, and they'd turned up at this man's house with a mental health nurse. We're really only a step away, one step away from the system saying that if you don't agree with what's being done, if you don't agree and concede that the system is right, then maybe you're suffering from a mental illness. Maybe you should be removed from society for your own safety and the safety of others, for simply disagreeing, for voicing an opinion, for asking awkward questions, for seeking answers, for looking for the truth. Then you're a danger, you're a problem, you're an extremist, or you're obviously suffering from a delusion. And in either way, it would probably be safer for you and society if you were removed. The laws they're passing limit how you think. By limiting speech, you're limiting thought. It works two ways. You can speak what you think, but if you shut down speech, those thoughts no longer come, eventually, because there's no words. There's just feelings. And today, in this country, people have feelings. They're unhappy. Unhappy people. In recent studies, the public in Britain are the most unhappy they've ever been. Imagine that. We're told one thing and live an experience completely counter, completely the opposite of what we're told life is like. We're told diversity is our greatest strength, and yet we see and hear that it's probably our greatest weakness. We're told that we're more affluent, wealthy, and can have more stuff than ever before. That the internet and computers and technology make the world a wonderful place where we can communicate with someone on the other side of the planet at the touch of a button. And yes, we are affluent, and yes, we can buy more stuff. And yes, I can speak to you in America or Norway. And yet the people are unhappy. Why? Why are people unhappy? Because the life we're told is so good is not authentic. It's not real. It's a photocopy of the way things should be. It's a technological pretend. It's a fake. It's not real. Deep down, lots of people understand this and yet haven't got the words to put it into a sentence or explain how they're feeling. They just know that things feel a little bit crap. It's important to get away from modern life, modernity, when you can. To remove yourself from concrete, steel, glass, traffic, noise. He says, with 100 chickens crowing in the background. But even that's different. Here, I have time to, in between the housework and the washing, time to be, time to sit, time to breathe, time to think. One of the main reasons I believe that everybody rushing around in the town nearest me or the city you live in, the reason those people don't seem to know what's going on is because they don't take time. They have no time. They're rushing to work, they're rushing home from work, they're too busy doing things they don't really want to do. Busy doing things they don't really want to do in order to live within a system that can take away everything that makes it even slightly enjoyable in an instant. Should you question it? Should you say, is that right? Should it be that way? So how do you change that? How do you change a system? For many years, I honestly believed that you could do that through political means. And I know there's still people Many who hope that there's a political way to change things. There could be, eventually. I've said on numerous occasions that I don't believe there's a political solution to the problems we face. A lot of the problems we face aren't political. And even if we managed to get a political organisation into power, we would be looking at decades upon decades of changing the mindset of people. It's a tall task. My issue today is that after being involved on both a small scale and mainstream political level, it's unlikely that any party that has an objective to change the system will be allowed anywhere near the levers of power at all. They may very well be allowed to rise if that serves a purpose for the system. But I can't see at the moment a political way to change things. And if the truth be told, I don't think we have the time. It's not a local or national system that you're fighting against. It's a global system that is deeply connected. This country has nearly given up its ability to feed itself. We're reliant on other countries for our food. That is an incredibly stupid thing to do. One of the first things that would need to be addressed. Because you can bet your bottom dollar, if you came to power, there would be external pressures. We can see that around the world today. So how do we change things here? Because it's here that I live. It's here that I care about. It's this country. It's my people. Well, remarkably, it doesn't seem to be politics or politicians that hold power. If you take just a glimpse behind that curtain, you'll see that there's large corporations, there's institutions that really hold power. And it is with power that you can get things done. So what can you get done? Well, I'm going to give you a positive example. I started the Woodlander Initiative with 3 main core elements to it. The first being to purchase land that can be used by us for positive reasons. And I know some people don't like the word positive, but for good reasons. So we can use the land for recreational purposes. We can use the land for growing food. We can use the land for raising livestock. We can use the land to live on. Maybe sometimes, maybe all of the time. All of these things are open, but in order to explore them, we first need to buy land. Now that's not possible, usually, for an individual, unless they're very wealthy. Nowadays, land prices are out of reach. But together, we've managed to come together as a collective, and we've achieved that. The second part of the reason for that initiative was to throw a spanner in the works. It was becoming blatantly obvious that large corporations were buying large tracts of land, which takes them out of the reach of us. It's land we can't use. It's land that won't be used for farming. It's land we can't use for recreational purposes. And it increases the prices. By buying that plot of land we've just bought, or the 2 plots of land we've just bought, we limited the amount of land that a large corporation wanted to buy. They did buy another 70 odd acres, but they couldn't buy the land that we'd purchased. So we succeeded. We stopped them. 2 successes. Being able to do something that the individual can't do on their own, we can achieve by coming together as a group. And we can stop the system doing things that are harmful to us. And I said there was 3 things. The third thing is to give power back to us. To be able to assist the members of that initiative. To be able to do things they wouldn't be able to do on their own. Because of the size of the organisation we built over a rapid period of time, because of the money we'd put together ourselves as a collective, and because it's a business organisation, something the system recognises and understands, we are able to do things which people, that individuals, cannot do on their own. So we had members who wanted to buy their own land. Unfortunately, they can only afford a small amount. Now, most of you will understand that if you save really hard and put all that money aside, and you get enough to buy an acre of land, £10,000, all your life savings, you will be hard pushed to find 1 acre of land for sale. 3 acres, 4 acres, 5 acres, even they're becoming rarer. But for 5 acres of land, you could be looking at 50, 60, maybe £70,000. And this is outside of what the normal man is going to be able to save or spend. Those 1 acre plots are no longer 10,000, they're 20,000, 25,000. But if you buy a lot of land, the price comes down. Now, an organisation can take 10 members who all have £5,000, take that £50,000 and buy part of a larger plot and then subdivide it for them. So the organisation can do a lot more, can buy a much bigger part of land. Keeping the price down, keeping it affordable. You may only want half an acre. Enough room to put your shepherd's hut for long weekends. But you're not going to find that half acre for sale, and if you do, the price will be astronomical. However, there could be 10 acres, and we could have 20 members who want half an acre. I hope you get my drift. I hope you understand that by coming together, there's things we can do, there's positive steps we can take to improve our lives, those of our family, to build community, and start to step away from a system that is designed to restrict us in every way, shape and form. It's going to be the way forward. We're starting now. By the time a lot of other people catch up, we'll already be building. Put yourself at the front. Think about it. I'm going to leave this one with you, folks. Let me know what you think in the comments. Please do your best to share this around. My videos never get promoted. As you know, YouTube does their best to squash anything that talks out against the system, understandably. But again, it's something we can do together. Share it. Get it out there. Get the message out there. There are things we can do. When we come together as a group, we're much more powerful. And it's working. Right, I'll speak to you soon. Have a good one.